Greetings everyone. So a number of politicians have already struggled to answer the very simple question of what is a woman?
Can a woman have a penis?
Well, I've just answered that question.
They can.
Listen, I've made it really clear that if people, the vast majority of people will have the same gender as their biological sex, but a small number won't.
So a woman can have a penis?
Well, quite clearly.
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix?
Well, it is something that shouldn't be said. It is not right.
What is a woman?
Well, I thought the Prime Minister answered this brilliantly in Prime Minister's Question Times, in Prime Minister's Questions this week, and I fully agree with him.
And so what is your definition of a woman?
As I said, I would exactly agree with what the Prime Minister said at Prime Minister's Question Time. I thought he answered the question very well.
An adult human female?
Sorry, Julie, as I said, I thought the Prime Minister answered the question brilliantly, and I agree with every word.
He thought he answered it brilliantly. So what were the words that he said that you agree with, Chancellor?
Well, I think if you look at the full thing that he said on Wednesday, he answered the question brilliantly, and I would agree with every word that he said.
What is a woman?
Look, I'm very happy to answer your question, but I do worry. I think we've just got to move away from all of that and just come at this once again from first principles. We as a community are full of people with diverse stories and diverse life experiences. Amongst that rich diversity, which as Francis says is powerful, there are a number of people who genuinely believe that they are trapped in the wrong body and they want to be recognised as the gender that their mind and soul have for always told them that they are.
And now another one has joined them, and that is the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who I actually made a video about just recently. He was asked the same question, what is a woman? And here was his answer.
What is a woman, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I asked that question knowing full well that people may be watching this who may have gender dysphoria and may, have concerns in relation to this issue. So let me be quite direct in relation to this. So a woman, when it comes to biology and sex, is an adult girl. But there are some women who may have gender dysphoria, and trans women can also be women as well.
Keir Starmer said that 99.9%, I think he's up to now, of women don't have penises. What percentage do you think it is?
I'm not going to apply a percentage. What I do know, Piers, is...
Well, you know why I'm asking? Because most women watching would say actually 100%. 100% of women don't have penises.
No, sure. These are complicated issues. And that's why I don't want to be flippant.
It's not. It's really. It's actually not that complicated, is it? I mean, I think if you start from a position there are men and women, it gets complicated when people try and pretend that biological males are women. They're not.
I think there's biology and then there's gender, isn't there?
That is your answer from the Muslim Mayor of London. If we actually go into his answer, it's interesting because at the beginning, he immediately states that he's aware of who might be watching. And so then he gives his answer. It's a kind of tailored answer to who's watching because he knows that certain people expect him to say a certain thing. So he's going to say that certain thing. And that is to say, well, biologically, this is what a woman is. But also people who are trans can also be women. And there are trans women. It's the typical politician answer. Normally, if you get a question and you know that there's one correct answer, you give that answer. This is the question. I know the truth is this. This is the correct reply. This is the correct answer. And here is the correct answer. But he gives the typical politician. Well, some people are going to be thinking this and other people are going to be thinking that. And these people are going to be annoyed if I say this. And those people are going to be annoyed if I say that. So here's my tailored answer to the very diverse audience that we're likely to have for this program. Now, something else I'd like to state, and this was actually mentioned by a priest a few months ago during a mass. I was at this mass, and the priest during his sermon said that we mustn't get into the lingo of the secular world. So this whole idea of gender is nonsense when it's used with human beings, because human beings do not have gender. He was saying human beings have sexes. There are two sexes, male and female. Gender is used with grammar. And in grammar, there are three genders. That is masculine, feminine, and neutral. So this whole idea of being a gender-neutral person is absolute nonsense, as I'm sure you know. Another thing I wanted to mention was that when people describe gender in human beings, that of course doesn't exist, what they appear to really be describing is just that person's characteristics and what they like. So, for example, there are girls who are known as tomboys because they're interested in things that boys are interested in. That doesn't mean they need to change any of their genitalia. It just means they happen to be interested in, I don't know, racing cars or playing football or whatever it is, action movies, things that typically boys are known to like. And that's fine. They're still girls, but they have those interests. Now, it seems that when people talk about gender, they're trying to say, okay, so biologically, this person is a woman, but actually she doesn't have to be doing womanly things. She doesn't want to be stereotyped in doing these particular things. She has her own things that she likes. And then they say, well, that means that her gender is either male or neutral. No, she's a woman. There's no other gender. And then she has these particular interests that can be different to what many women have. And that's fine. You don't have to like the same things that other women or other girls like. And I feel like some of the modern secular folks have gotten a bit confused and said, well, if there's a girl who doesn't like wearing dresses or doesn't like playing with Barbies, etc., then she's either actually a boy or she's neutral. She's nothing. No, she's a girl. She just happens to like different things to what many girls like. Maybe she likes playing with action men, whatever. It doesn't make her less of a girl. And they've sort of now, because of that whole thing, they've wedged in this whole idea of, well, you see, gender and biological sex are two different things. No, there is, as I said, there's no gender with people. There's simply a biological sex, and then there's the interests that you have that can be very different and very diverse. So there we go, Sadiq Khan giving the party line answer, the Labour Party line answer. He's done it with other things as well. He's done it with pride events. He's given the party line answer, and he's a Muslim. And I'm sure that any Muslim who actually follows their faith correctly would be looking at that and thinking, what on earth are you talking about, Sadiq Khan? In fact, there are probably already a lot of Muslims who have disowned Sadiq Khan as a fellow Muslim because of a lot of the nonsense that he has said. And that was his answer to what is a woman. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a blessed day.
It's actually not that complicated, is it?